My parents always favored my sister, the golden child who could do no wrong. They praised her for marrying a corporate executive and shamed me for choosing a farmer. At her wedding, they made me sit outside on the floor because an important guest was arriving. Then my husband walked in, and everything I had been hiding for 3 years was about to come out. My name is Emily Watson, and this is the story of how I stopped letting them make me feel small. I grew up constantly compared to my older sister Victoria. She was the perfect daughter. Beauty pageant winner, sorority president, marketing executive. I was quieter, pursued agricultural science and sustainability. Every achievement I made got minimized. That is nice, but Victoria just got promoted again. Family gatherings centered around her accomplishments, while mine barely got mentioned. At my college graduation, my parents showed up late and left early for Victoria's work event. The message was clear. Victoria was the pride. I was the disappointment. 3 years ago, I met Daniel at an agricultural conference. He was presenting on sustainable farming practices. I was drawn to his intelligence, his passion, his humility. We dated for a year before he took me to his family farm. Large operation, but he was incredibly down to earth. Never flaunted anything, lived simply, focused on his work. I fell in love with his values, his kindness, his vision. When I brought him home to meet my family, it was a disaster. My mother said, "A farmer? Emily, really? What happened to ambition?" My father asked if we would be living away from civilization. Victoria was patronizing. "Well, I suppose someone has to grow our food." Victoria got engaged to Derek, a corporate executive at a major agricultural processing company. Expensive suits, flashy car, constantly talking about promotions and bonuses. My parents loved him immediately. Finally, someone with real prospects in this family. I married Daniel quietly in a small ceremony. My parents attended but complained the whole time. Victoria's engagement to Derek became a major celebration with a party for 200 people. What my family did not know was that Daniel owns Watson Agricultural Holdings, a multi-million-dollar company with farmland across 3 states, supplying produce to major processing companies nationwide. Worth over $50 million, but living modestly by choice. I was also thriving as director of sustainability for a major consulting firm, making $180,000 annually, published researcher, conference speaker. We chose not to tell my family any of this. Daniel said if they cannot respect you for who you are, they do not deserve to know what we built. I agreed, but it still hurt. Family gatherings were torture. My mother asking how life on the farm was, still shoveling manure. Victoria saying Derek just got another raise. How is Daniel's crop situation? My father saying he always knew I would be the one to let them down. I endured it with grace. Daniel with quiet strength. He never revealed who he was, never defended himself with wealth. Let them think what they want, he would say. We know the truth. Victoria and Derek's wedding was a massive affair with a $150,000 budget. I received an invitation relegated to the extended family table in the back. At the bridal shower, I was not invited to help plan, just told to attend. My mother said they did not think I would understand the sophistication they were going for. 2 weeks before the wedding, the venue called Victoria. There was an issue with final payment, $15,000 due immediately or the wedding would be cancelled. Derek's family backed out of their portion due to financial issues. Victoria panicked. My parents had maxed out their contribution. Then an anonymous donation came through from Wedding Support LLC covering the balance. Victoria said the universe wanted this wedding to happen. I knew the truth. I made that donation. I wanted my sister to have her day despite everything. Wedding day arrived. Daniel and I showed up dressed nicely but not extravagantly. Victoria pulled me aside. There was a seating issue. A VIP guest was coming and they needed more space in the main hall. She directed us to a waiting area outside. Literally plastic chairs near the service entrance. I sat trying not to cry. Daniel was furious, but I asked him to stay calm. It is her day. Do not make a scene. Then Derek came outside and saw me. What are you doing here? I thought Victoria said you were inside. I explained we were waiting for space. He was condescending. Right. Well, do not come in until someone gets you. We have important guests. Daniel started to stand. I stopped him. Derek kept going. You know Victoria is really generous letting you come at all. You're kind of, well, you do not exactly fit the aesthetic we are going for. He called me dirt and a disturbance. I was humiliated, tears starting. Then Victoria came out and saw me crying. Oh God, are you making a scene already? I tried to explain, but she cut me off. You know what? You look ridiculous in that dress anyway. She picked up a glass of red wine from a passing server and poured it down my dress. My parents came outside, saw what happened, and instead of defending me, they left. My mother said maybe now I would go home, should have known better than to come dressed like that. I was shaking. Daniel was about to explode. Then someone called out, Mr. Watson? Is that you? The venue manager rushed over. Mr. Watson, we did not know you would be here. If you had told us this was your family event, we would have prepared special accommodations. Derek froze. Victoria went pale. My parents looked confused. And Daniel, my humble farmer husband, smiled and said actually he was here to support his wife. The wife they just humiliated. The wife sitting outside on a plastic chair. That was when I knew everything was about to change. The venue manager started explaining property details to Daniel. Derek stood frozen, slowly processing what he was hearing. Mr. Watson, from Watson Agricultural Holdings? Daniel nodded calmly. That is right. Derek's face drained of all color. You are my boss's boss. You own the company. Victoria grabbed Derek's arm. What are you talking about? Derek could barely speak. He owns Watson Agricultural. They own our parent company. He is one of the biggest agricultural suppliers in the country. My mother said that was impossible. He is a farmer. Daniel stayed calm. I am a farmer. I own 12,000 acres across 3 states and supply your son-in-law's company with $30 million worth of produce annually. My father stammered. Emily never said. I stood up, wine-stained dress and all. You never asked. You just assumed. Daniel turned to Derek. We were supposed to meet next week about your promotion to VP. I was coming to personally approve it. Derek's eyes lit up desperately. Yes, sir, I am so excited about that opportunity. Daniel cut him off. Were. Past tense. That meeting is cancelled. So, is your promotion? Derek went pale. What? No, sir, please. Daniel's voice was ice. You just called my wife dirt. You called her a disturbance. You humiliated her at your wedding while she sat outside like a servant. Victoria jumped in. We did not know who you were. Daniel looked at her. Exactly. You did not know. So this is how you treat people you think are beneath you. Derek was panicking now. Mr. Watson, please. I am sorry. I did not mean. Daniel interrupted. Your promotion included an $80,000 raise and stock options. You have already spent that money, have you not? Derek went silent. I could see it was true. Daniel continued. The car, the apartment, this wedding. You have been living like you already had the job. Victoria turned on Derek. What is he talking about? Derek could not answer. Daniel answered for him. Based on your credit report that came across my desk for VP vetting, about $200,000 in debt. Wedding guests were gathering now, sensing drama. My mother tried to salvage it. Let us all calm down. This is a misunderstanding. Emily, tell your husband this is a misunderstanding. I looked at her. Is it? You poured wine on my dress, Mom laughed, and Dad called me a disappointment before the ceremony. My father protested. We were joking. I shook my head. For 29 years? That is a long joke. The venue manager approached nervously. Mr. Watson, there is a matter about the final payment. Daniel asked what about it. The manager explained. The deposit of $15,000 that came through 2 weeks ago from Wedding Support LLC, we just realized this venue is actually one of your properties. We should have given you the family rate. Victoria's eyes went wide. Wait, you own this venue too? Daniel nodded. I own 17 event venues across the state. This is one of them. He turned back to the manager. What about final payment? The manager said it was still outstanding. Balance of $15,000 due today, or they had to cancel the reception. Derek protested. But the donation covered that. The manager shook his head. No, sir, that covered the previous balance. Final payment is still due. Victoria turned on my parents. You said you paid it. My mother said they thought Derek's parents would cover it. Derek said he told them his parents backed out. Everyone turned to me. Victoria's voice was sharp. You. That anonymous donation. That was you, was it not? I nodded. I did not want your wedding cancelled. Despite everything, you are still my sister. Victoria's expression shifted. So you can pay the rest too. You have the money. I just stared at her. My mother stepped forward. Emily, please. Family helps family. I felt something break inside me. Family helps family? You made me sit outside. On the floor. At my own sister's wedding. My father tried again. We did not know about Daniel. I cut him off. That should not matter. I am your daughter. Daniel put his hand on my shoulder. You do not owe them anything. I looked at my sister, my parents, Derek, all staring at me desperately. Guests were recording on their phones now. I made my decision. I paid the deposit because I wanted to be kind. But kindness has to be mutual. Victoria asked what that meant. It means I am not paying the rest. Figure it out yourselves. My mother gasped. You would ruin your sister's wedding? I looked at her directly. No, Mom. You did that when you treated me like I was not good enough to sit inside. Derek tried to approach Daniel about the promotion. Daniel was firm. No, you are not just losing the promotion. HR will be contacting you Monday about your current position. Derek went pale. You are firing me? Daniel nodded. I am recommending termination. We do not employ people who treat others like dirt. Derek literally fell to his knees. Please. I will lose everything. The apartment, the car, I have loans. Daniel was unmoved. Consequences. Something you clearly never learned. Victoria screamed at me. This is your fault. You ruined everything. I shook my head. I ruined it? By existing? By marrying someone you look down on? She kept going. You could have told us. You let us think. I finished for her. I let you show who you really are. And you did. The venue manager announced without payment, guests needed to leave the reception space. The wedding coordinator was in tears. Caterers and the band were asking about payment too. Everything was falling apart in real time. Guests were leaving, confused and scandalized. Derek's parents arrived, saw the chaos and turned around. My mother tried one more time. Emily, please. What do you want? An apology? We will apologize. I looked at her. I do not want your apology now. I wanted your respect before. There is a difference. I took Daniel's hand and started walking to our car. Victoria chased after us. Wait. Where are you going? You cannot just leave. I turned back. You told me to wait outside. I am just following instructions. My father called out. Emily, please. We are your parents. We love you. I stopped. You love the version of me that succeeds. But you could not love me when you thought I failed. That is not love, Dad. We got in our car. As we pulled away, I saw Derek on the phone crying. Victoria arguing with our parents. Guests taking pictures and videos. My mother sitting on the steps with her head in her hands. And I felt free. I watched my sister's perfect wedding collapse in my rearview mirror. The golden child who could do no wrong was standing in a parking lot watching vendors pack up. My parents, who spent 30 years telling me I was not enough, were begging the venue manager for mercy. And Derek, who called me dirt an hour ago, had just lost everything. Daniel squeezed my hand and asked if I was okay. I realized I was better than okay. I was finally free. But it was not over yet. I woke up the next day to 47 missed calls. Text messages begging, threatening, guilting. My mother asking how I could do this to my sister. Victoria saying she was about to lose her fiancé because of me. I checked social media. Videos from the wedding were viral in our social circle. Comments were overwhelmingly on my side. I showed Daniel. I feel guilty. Is that crazy? He shook his head. Not crazy. You have a kind heart. That is what they took advantage of. Monday morning, Derek was officially fired. Not just for what happened to me. HR found expense report fraud. He had been billing personal expenses as business for months. Without his job or promotion, his debt became unmanageable. He had to sell his car, break his apartment lease, move back with his parents. Victoria broke off the engagement. I cannot marry someone with nothing. My mother called in tears. Your sister's heart is broken. Derek left her. She has nothing. I replied calmly. She has what she valued most. Her pride and her image. My achievements became public knowledge. Director of Sustainability, published researcher, conference speaker, married to Daniel Watson of Watson Agricultural Holdings. Combined household income over $2 million annually. The same people who pitted poor Emily married to a farmer now wanted to network. Victoria sent an email asking me to say the wedding thing was a misunderstanding. Her reputation was ruined. I responded with one word. No. 6 months later, I gave a keynote speech at an agricultural sustainability conference. My work on sustainable farming practices had become nationally recognized. Daniel sat in the front row beaming. After my speech, a young woman approached crying. Her family did not support her career choices either. She asked how I found the strength to keep going. I told her the truth. You do not need their approval to succeed. You need your own. Build a life so beautiful that their opinions become irrelevant. Build a family of people who choose to see your worth. And never shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold you. My mother sent an email after that speech went viral. She said she was proud, that she always knew I would do great things, asking if we could start over. I read it, closed it, and deleted it. Because some bridges are not meant to be rebuilt. Some distances are exactly the right size. And I have never been happier. Thanks for listening to the end. If you have ever been made to feel like you are not enough by the people who should love you most, remember this. Your worth is not determined by who recognizes it. Build your own empire, find your own people, and live so well that their opinions become background noise. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more stories about finding your worth and the family you choose.